Rainbow Valley. Gonna go do some walks. So it seems like at some point they tried to put a path in or something, one of these plastic paths, and it's been pretty much wrecked by the sun and the elements. So already this walk is off to a very sandy start. Sandy shoes before long. Sonia's got the fly net on. Mine's back in the car. It's kind of unfortunate that this whole path's been just, well, I guess the plastic path that used to be here is disintegrated, and now there's just tiny bits of plastic littered throughout the sand. I guess, you know, it was probably done before the true evil of plastics was known. Or maybe somebody just couldn't be bothered doing it properly. Anyway, not loving this walk so far. There's a lot of flies, and I've got a lot of sand in my shoes. And the view is okay, but the all of the photographs we saw of this place were a lot more spectacular. So I would be lying if I said it met my expectations, but we will see how it goes at dusk.
Those beautiful wildflowers.
Sonia's turned into one of those wildflower freaks.
Look at them, they're cute.
Yeah. So that's Mushroom Rock. All right. Yeah, so a lot of the pictures that we saw of this, the lake had water in it, which led to, you know, amazing looking reflections, and it's just pretty dry and barren at the moment. So it is what it is. It's kind of tough coming here after you've just been to Uluru and the Olgas, because you know, they're pretty massive and amazing, and this is, it's okay, but it's probably about 50 meters high and just doesn't really have that same sort of amazing scale to it. And the sand, oh, and the flies. Oh.
How much sand is in your shoes, Andrew?
Let's have a look. Not that much, really.
Wow.
Yeah, it must all be in my socks.
All right. You want to check mine out?
Yeah. Let's see how much sand is in Sonia's shoes. Oh wow! Holy smokes! Yeah, you got way sandier shoes than me. I wonder where you wanted to stop. So we seem to get a lot of questions about the camper trailer, so I thought we'd just go around and talk you through our camper trailer, which is a MD Cruizer Highside. We call it Myrtle. And yeah, we'll just give you a little intro into how it works out. Weighs about 1.9 tonnes gross at the moment. The tear weight is apparently 1,500 kilos, but that's debatable. The ball weight is supposed to be 180 kilos, but in our case it's about 290. Kind of annoying. We've got this Alco 360-degree hitch, which is a bit crap. Doesn't quite go 360 degrees that way. And we lost a washer in here, so we've had to sort of pack it out with some cable ties. We carry a spare jerry can there, and this one here is where we put our chemical toilet. Got room for 2 gas bottles in there. Got the Arc Extreme Off-Road jockey wheel, which is good for when you got to spin it around somewhere. The Mud flaps took a bit of a beating on some of those gravel roads. Here we've got the boat rack. When it's got stuff on it, it's actually really heavy, and when it's open like that, we run into, well, you can close it with one person, but it's a real pain. So you basically need to have a person on each side, and you've got to apply some pressure to the boat rack and then push these little clips in. If you want to do it with a single person, you've got to take the clips out, which is a big pain. We use it to store some stuff. This is where the poles go for the awning. Got the max tracks, a bit of firewood. That was an addition we put on sort of about a few weeks into the trip, really. We found that because we were running a freezer, we were running out of power a bit. Yeah, I think, you know, if you had a boat up there, I don't even know how you'd go about opening and closing the boat rack. The wheels, we just had to get them aligned because they're a bit out of whack, but it's all good. We got the bearings done in Darwin, which was a relief. They were in good condition, so they only need to be repacked. Got the ubiquitous bum bag on the back here. We use that for our rubbish mostly. We don't often put the awning out, just because it's a little bit of a pain to do, and we usually move, you know, I wouldn't say daily, but, you know, every other day. It's very rare we stay anywhere more than sort of 3 days. In which case it's like, you know, is it really worth putting it up? Well, let's have a look inside. All right, so I've had to put it on super wide angle in here because otherwise it's a bit hard to capture it. You can see we've got some nice windows with mozzie mesh. Have them open on both sides, get lots of ventilation. This area here can sort of be a bed for someone short. Underneath these cushions we've got the table, and then underneath that we store the canvas for the awning and stuff, and a few other bits and pieces. Yeah, pretty rare that we actually get that out. That's the bed. It's a pretty good bed in this one. The difference with the Highside model is that it's got an inner sprung mattress, which is great. It's not just a piece of foam, and we've got a mattress topper on top of that as well, and just a, you know, regular doona and some sheets. So we're pretty warm in here. Like last night was about 3 degrees, 3.5 degrees or something, and it was cold, but it wasn't out of control. Got some lights. They're not plugged in, but they are pretty much all we need. Got some beers and some Pepsi Max there. Inverter, charging some batteries. The built-in inverter has a modified sine wave, which wrecked our toothbrush charger, which was a shame. What else? Down here we've got a little bit for the stereo and the controls for the diesel heater. The stereo is not too bad. There's a bit of a rattle in one of the speakers, which is pretty annoying. But other than that, it goes pretty loud, sounds decent. The diesel heater is super economical. It uses hardly any diesel. But the configuration we have it set up in is a little bit annoying if you want to use the jerry can for you know, actually carrying spare fuel. You've got to sort of fuff around with it a bit. So this is our fridge freezer. It's an 85 litre My Coolman. We have it, the small compartment is freezer, the big compartment is fridge. It does use quite a bit of power in that configuration, but we've got 300 amp hours of batteries, of which, you know, half of it's usable. So we do all right so long as we can get plenty of sun. We've got the portable panel over there as well, which is useful. Sonia can show us the kitchen, if we can get it open. Four gas burners, pretty good. Little sink with some dirty dishes in it. That's all right. This one's got plumbed hot water, which is useful, but we never really set it up because we can't be bothered with mucking around with the water heater and everything, so we just heat up some water in a billy on on the stove. Couple of spare tyres, haven't needed them yet, which is great. These little lights are kind of useful sometimes, but generally we find that they're too low down to really make much difference in terms of visibility. Opening and closing it, it's kind of a two-person job just because it's got the inner sprung mattress. It uses, like, it's quite a bit heavier than a regular camper trailer, I think. So yeah, it is doable with one person, but it's quite difficult. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If anyone has any questions about it, feel free to ask. That's my ute. It's a 2022 Mitsubishi Triton in Impulse Blue with a TJM bar, which I'm undecided whether I like it. It's got a nasty rattle. Got the old flexiglass canopy on the back, which I'm also a little bit about. I've had some problems with that. Hopefully I can get it sorted out under warranty, but the latches are kind of wrecked, and this window's misbehaving, doesn't open up. Got some Maxxis AT811 tyres, which have been all right. Got a flat in one of them, and the warranty's basically useless. So keep that in mind if you're buying Maxxis tyres. What do you reckon, Sonia? Have I left anything out?
Not sure.
She's not sure. Anyway, that'll do for now. I feel like I might have been a little bit harsh on our last place, Rainbow Valley. We went down and took some photographs at sunset, and it was actually quite pretty. But it was still a little under-inspiring. But anyway, never mind. We've moved on from there, and tonight we're at a place called Owen's Rest. It's a free camp near Marla, and the flies are probably the worst we've experienced on this entire trip. So it's currently 5:45 and they're still going flat out. Hopefully they take off once the sun goes down, which is in another 40 minutes or so. We lit a fire to try and smoke them out. Didn't work. So now we're just sitting around wearing fly nets, just waiting. It's a pretty good spot though, but yeah, just lots of flies. We just had a freight train go past, but I missed it with the GoPro. Never mind. We've arrived at Coober Pedy, which is somewhere that Sonia's wanted to go and visit for a long time. We're just going to go for a walk into town. We just checked into the caravan park. That's okay, it's pretty barren, but it seems to be adequate. Something we've noticed, there's not a lot of shade in Coober Pedy, so it's a warm day. We may overheat, but we'll see how we go. At least there's a nice breeze. You excited, Sonia, to be in Coober Pedy?
I am. I feel like this town's going to be really different to anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, same. It's already pretty weird. Driving in, it looks a bit like a scene out of, was it Star Wars or something? Anyway, we'll have a bit of a poke around. We're not sure if we're going to stay here 2 days or 1 day yet. We'll see. Just went and checked out the underground church. It was pretty cool, but just didn't feel cool about, you know, recording it and stuff, because we were like the only ones in there. I was sure we were being surveilled. Anyway, check out the rest of the town. There's quite a lot of rubbish around, which is fairly typical of a lot of these outback towns. A little bit disappointing, but I guess that's what you get. That wishing well has seen better days. We're at the Old Timers Mine in Coober Pedy, doing the self-guided tour, and they say that you're more than welcome to record stuff, so we'll record some stuff. Definitely have to hunch over a little bit in here. Not made for tall people.
So they dug these gouges out for their feet and hands. Yeah. And depending how tall you are, that's how far away you die.
It's pretty cool. They just carved some sculptures straight into the rock. It's pretty interesting. It's $15 each to do the tour and have a look around. There's some cool stuff in here. I mean, I suppose it depends if you're into it or not, but I thought it was pretty worthwhile.
Don't forget the range.
Yeah. The blurb for this one is that this is how modern people live today. It might need a little bit of updating. How about this one?
It's got a ensuite. Pretty razzle dazzle.
Check out the stereo. It's got a twin tape deck for high-speed dubbing.
It's got one of those sweet ashtrays that I love.
Ooh. I wonder how many people have accidentally done a poo. Well, that's terrible lighting, but we'll persist because who cares? We just finished at the Old Timers Mine. It was really cool. I think for $15 it's worth a look. Seems cool old stuff. I think the gist of it is that they found the old mine as they were digging out some, like an underground house. They sort of just stumbled across it, which is pretty funny. So it's cool that they left it in pretty much the condition that it was found. Thoughts, Sonia?
We did the self-guided tour, which I kind of liked. I feel like I could move on from things I was less interested in.
What's the alternative?
I think you have a guided tour.
Oh, right, okay, cool. I didn't even know that was an option. Anyway, it was good. It was nice and cool in there too. We just sort of stepped back outside and it's hot again. That's all right. What would you say? I'm going to say that's a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I quite liked it. And I liked that it wasn't super polished either.
Yeah, it's a bit sort of rough and ready. They could probably do with a bit of an update. There's some kind of old stuff in there that's like being touted as, you know, the next big thing, like fibre optic cable.
In 1994.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, but I think that's part of the charm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of opal. That was one, yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Look at the edge of it.
Okay. This is Sonia noodling. Okay. The term noodling is supposed to have come from the term wet noodle, which was used to describe a man who just went through another miner's rubble, I guess. He wasn't man enough to dig his own hole or something. At least that's what we read. I mean, you'd never get away with that kind of talk these days. The woke brigade would have an absolute nightmare. But back in those days, you could say what you wanted. And if you're a wet noodle, then so be it. So we're just heading up to this place called the Big Winch 360. We've decided that it's not a very pedestrian-friendly town. And also, this place is made of tyres.
Eco ship. What are they called?
Something like that.
Earth ships.
Yeah, anyway, this is where we're walking up this hill. There's no footpath. It's just like, this is a car town. This is a pretty good view from up here. You wouldn't really think there'd be many hills in a place like this, but there are. It's a big winch. Yeah, so this thing behind me is the blower, but really it's just a big vacuum cleaner powered by what looks to be a pretty huge motor that would suck the dirt up from inside the opal mines and spit it out that bit there. Pretty cool. Bet it was loud. Probably not very safe. Occupational health and safety people would be freaking out at that. We're up here at the Coober Pedy sign, and I nearly stood on a lizard. It looks like he's trying to hide. So we'll be a bit subtle, not be too close. You right there, buddy? Just basking.
Such a crazy town.
Yeah, it is a crazy town.
I love it.
Yeah, I kind of wish we could have stayed a bit longer. So we could have just, you know, felt the vibe a bit better, but that's okay.
We'll go check out the Mad Max looking sign. Get a video of that. This is the landscape of the Coober
With good
Pedy.
traits and a good name is less likely to engage in criminal conduct.
You're gonna have to delete that one.
Just